Fanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and the staff at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. Also, the Midtown Family Restaurants. Dirk Sterner Taxidermy. Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Oxyoke Inn and the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, along with Pat Hardy from HawkFanatic.com. And Coach Don Patterson.
Well, all right. Well, Coach, not really the kind of game I was expecting to see. I'll be brutally candid with you. But I will say if it were not for Caden Weegan, we may be having a very different discussion this morning. What your thoughts on Saturday's game against Michigan State?
Yeah, you're right about that, Tom. I think one thing that's interesting about the game, because I've already done all the games from the weekend, I have this prediction model that's been 98% accurate in picking the winner up until Saturday. Now there's two exception games over the entire season. Its record was 53-1. After this weekend, I don't know, but I do know this: there is a second exception game, and it involves Michigan State again, this time versus Iowa. The analytics indicated they should win the game. I think the primary reason they didn't, as you've already suggested, Tom, is 147 punt return yards by Caden. That made the difference in the game.
Well, Kirk said he kept him in the game single-handedly. But I will say, though, the Iowa defense getting three straight 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter was huge. I mean, Michigan State, Don, I kept saying up in the press box, I think I was driving the guys nuts, I never thought Iowa was going to lose that game, even when it was 17-7, because I kept saying, Don, Michigan State's not going to be able to finish it. They're not going to be able to believe in themselves enough. Their offense just basically shut down in the fourth quarter.
It did.
Yeah, and we had everything to do with that, as you mentioned. The thing I appreciated, it was 3-and-out, and it didn't take long to happen because it involved incomplete passes.
Yes, and one of them, and then Iowa used a timeout once, but there was one of their drives, Don, it took less than 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they simply couldn't burn the clock when they needed to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we had everything to do with that. I don't want to assign all the blame to them. I think we're correct to assign a lot of credit to the Iowa defense.
Yeah, 4 straight punts in the fourth quarter, 3-and-outs. That one where Michigan State had the 3rd-and-1, and the play they tried, it just didn't have a chance. Iowa just ate them up, and that's when I said, yep, they're going to win this game. Now, did I think that Gronowski was all of a sudden going to turn into from Deacon Hill to Joe Namath? No, I did not see that. So what was was Michigan State doing anything defensively much different in the fourth? Now, Mark did say they played more press. Did you notice any real changes by Michigan State in the fourth defensively?
They did. They basically tried to pressure us and play man defense, and they paid for it. A couple of key plays, of course, were Jacobs' touchdown. That's what we call a Vegas round inside fade.
Great catch.
And the defender was manned up on him. It took two things to beat him on that play. It took a really good pass and a really good catch.
Yeah.
And we had them both. I made this comment about the game, Pat. There's too many heroes to count.
Yeah.
There's so many guys that played well.
Oh, without question.
And I'll say it this way. We played our best when it mattered the most.
Yep.
And that would be the fourth quarter.
And, forget the fact it was a last-place team. That's only a factor if they would have lost. Now they won the game. They avoided what would have been, I said this would have been a season-crushing loss. Some other people, of course, well, it's already, how do you say the other four? I get it. If you are only playoff or bust, yes, this season's over. But not everybody thinks that way.
No.
There's still a chance to win 9 games. There's still a chance to have an okay season. But had you lost Saturday, it would be over. But it's not.
Yeah, in terms of the bowl people, you'd have to say this. If we would have stubbed our toe against Michigan State, we would have had 4 good losses and 1 terrible loss.
Yeah, and you also would be mired in a 3-game streak going into Nebraska. And what did I say about Penn State?
Yeah, that was a whitewashing.
Don, wouldn't you agree? Penn State is the best 5-6 team in the country right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's ironic because 3 weeks ago, I mentioned to Kirk after Huntsville to be the best 3-loss team in the country. And his response was what you expected. It doesn't feel very good.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. I know that doesn't change the disappointment they've had out there, but I watched a little bit of that game and I go, Penn State was just the better team. I mean, they just were better. Nebraska looks a little Go ahead.
Nebraska got manhandled.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, let me look at the analytics. Here we go. Nebraska, the top 15 parameters, they won exactly none.
Wow.
Huh.
That is incredible.
And for that matter, Penn State won 14 out of 15. The only tie happened to be a big one, but it was dead even, and that was turnover margin. But Penn State won the other 14 parameters. So when you have that kind of one-sided performance, it usually means a one-sided game, and it did, of course, in the case of Penn State, Nebraska, too.
So Penn State looked, I mean, they had a bunch of losses in a row, but they were close losses.
The one is,
they played tough.
Inexplicably was the UCLA loss.
That was
because UCLA, they're back down. And
it cost him his job.
That little honeymoon's over. All the other ones you could sort of explain. I mean, but the UCLA one. But Don, I want to go back to Iowa. The first 3 quarters, what was going on with the passing attack? And because there were guys open in the first 3 quarters, just like there were in the fourth quarter. He just seemed like he waited too long with his progressions. I mean, what was the biggest problem, would you say, with the passing in the first 3 quarters?
Well, it's hard to know for sure. I'll give you an example. Remember when we had the first down with good field position? It was after a turnover.
Yeah.
And we went with the over route to Caden. That's a ball that should not have been thrown, incidentally. I heard some people say, well, I think Caden ran the wrong route. It wasn't where Mark expected him to be. The bottom line, you shouldn't have thrown it.
Well, Don, I will say there was one point when I was watching that route when I think Gronowski at first wanted to throw it when it looked like Caden might be open. Caden was still running his route and wasn't looking back at the quarterback. And that could just be me. I may have seen things, but it looked like they weren't on the same page. But no, you're right. He threw it into triple coverage almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I was wrong when I said it came after a turnover. That's not true. I'll tell you when it came after a punt return. A long punt return. So the thing I thought is, don't ask Caden to run another sprint route across the field and be open after he just returned the punt 45 yards. So he was gassed, and he was out of juice at that moment, and I don't think we considered that's the wrong time to run the route with Caden at least because he's tired.
Yeah, that makes a good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Immediately after the punt return.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when they throw it to Gill and when they throw it to Phillips, they usually catch it. They just don't get it. So Phillips did have a 33-yard catch and what have you. But, yeah, the first 3 quarters, it was I just never envisioned. I thought they were going to jump all over.
And it was like a light came on in the fourth quarter, and suddenly, hey, we can still win this game.
But it was light came on for Iowa, but it turned off for Michigan State. I just think Michigan State, if you're a Michigan State fan, Don, I'm not saying they choked because Iowa did win that game. But Michigan State, I question some of the play calling. I just think they played not to lose in the fourth quarter. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I do tend to agree. The bottom line is that, and let's give a lot of credit to the Iowa defense.
Oh, without question.
One thing I thought we did really well, we had a lot of guys that were, breaking their neck to get to the quarterback.
Carson Shar.
So he felt he was under duress a lot. Yeah, last week it was meaningful for me because I had a chance to catch a lot of seniors after practice, and I simply had this message for all of them. I said, you'll be an old man and you'll still remember senior day.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure you make it a great memory. Ethan Herget comes to mind. I didn't know Ethan very well when I talked to him last Wednesday, but as I was talking to him, he was looking me dead in my eyes because he wanted to know what I had to say. And I shared that message with him, and he said, Coach, I understand what you're saying, and we're going to find a way to make it a great memory. And he did. Not to mention Llewellyn, not to mention My gosh, where do you start? There's too many heroes.
Aaron Graves.
Too many heroes to count right now.
Yeah, Aaron Graves, Carson Shaw, Xavier Wamp. I mean,
Shire had a fantastic
Shire had a great game. He had 4 tackles for loss, I think, almost in the first half alone. He was all over the place. And
yeah, when he sees a guy, he accelerates to him.
He does.
Better than just about any linebacker you'll ever find.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me, in terms of his explosive ability, kind of reminds me of Larry Station a little bit.
I mean, I can see a little bit of that, and he also did his post-game interview. He's not one that loves media attention, which I kind of respect him for that a little bit, but he did. He was among the players that talked to the press after Saturday's game, and deservedly so. He was terrific. He was the best player on defense, I thought. He was all over the field.
Let me cite a couple other guys that we'd be in real trouble without them. It's number 1 and number 6.
Oh, without question.
X had a great game, too.
You're so right, Don.
Xavier's had a great season. He really has. He saved us more often than you realize.
Yes.
With really saving tackles. If it wasn't going to be a touchdown, if he missed, it was at least going to be a long gainer. And he's gotten them on the ground just about every time.
Yep.
And he's very physical when he does it. He runs into him with a lot of impact.
He does. And then, of course, Lutmer makes plays all over the place.
Yes, he's good.
Oh, my gosh. There was a ball that was thrown out wide. The only issue you get into with some kind of man coverage, you don't have any zone defenders out there defending the width of the field very well. Mm-hmm. And there was one ball in particular that was thrown wide, and it was caught by a back that had slipped out, as I recall. I think it was a back. Anyway, it's an open field tackle that has to be made.
I know the play you're talking about.
And it was. He's a very sure tackler, as you know. And I'm really proud of him for how he's played this year.
Yeah, he's had a great year.
Not to mention Intringer, too, deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, and what's good about Lutmer is I assume he's coming back. I mean, everyone else, Intringer and Wamka and TJ, unfortunately, he couldn't play. But those guys are all gone. I mean, that secondary is going to be gutted. So they'll build around Lutmer. It's too bad TJ couldn't play. I mean, I that kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't realize that he was even in jeopardy of not playing. But they found a way to get it done. Now they're going up against a Nebraska team, as you said, Don. Penn State manhandled Nebraska in the trenches on both sides of the ball. It was not even – what was the final score, 37-10?
I think, yeah.
I mean, Don, it was just a
terrible.
complete beatdown.
Yeah, 37-10. Here's the thing that comes to mind for me with Nebraska. If you can slow down their running game, of course their backs had a good season.
He sure has.
He didn't do that much against Penn State, as I recall.
No.
So if we can slow down their running game, they'll have a hard time beating us with the pass.
Yeah.
Because Real is not going to play. I'm 99% sure. Speaking of playing and not playing, I did talk to TJ on Wednesday also. I said, TJ, I'm assuming you might have to miss. And he said, yeah, I think so, Coach. And I said, well, if you're missing this week, it sounds to me like there's a good chance you'll be playing next week. And he said, that's the goal.
Okay,
good. And with a little bit of luck, he'll be back in the lineup come Black Friday.
Yeah, and if I had to pick between having TJ play against Michigan State or Nebraska, I would have picked Nebraska, not realizing, though, what Michigan State had. I give Michigan State players credit, man. They could have easily dumped on this season. They came out fighting.
They could have packed it in a long time ago, and they didn't.
And that looked like two evenly matched teams playing. I just don't like the Michigan State play calling in the fourth quarter. And like you said, Don, there were times when it seems like when they should have passed, they ran, but times when they passed, as those later possessions were going on in the fourth quarter, why weren't they trying to burn more clock? They weren't even taking the snap very deep. What were they thinking?
Well, they weren't thinking very clearly. You heard me talk before about 4-minute offense.
Yeah.
That's when you're protecting the lead. And if you snap the ball with any time on the clock, then you just messed up. You shouldn't have it. You shouldn't even put your lineman into a stance until the clock's getting low. You don't want to leave them in the stance a long time, of course. And that's the kind of thing you have to practice. And apparently it didn't occur to them that they could shorten the game. They didn't have much confidence in the running game, obviously. Although that bag is a pretty good bag. I've seen him in other games. I made a note of two guys, and that's the hyphenated running back, Tal Tollison, or whatever his name is.
Decent talent.
And Marsh. Marsh is the guy you got to worry about, too.
Yeah.
We did a good job controlling Marsh.
He had one big drop, too.
Yeah, and he killed us last year.
Yeah, he did. He had one where they threw to him out in the flat, and he was wide open, and he dropped it. No, they just, I mean, I thought it was going to be as much about Michigan State finding a way to lose as Iowa finding a way to win. That's what happened. I think they both converged, and that's what happened. Would you agree, Don?
Yeah, I think so. It was an opportunity they allowed to slip through their hands, but the other side of that coin is it was an opportunity that Iowa took advantage of.
Yes. Oh, that
when
question.
the game mattered the most, they clearly played the best.
So, Don, isn't there something to be said for you have to learn how to win? And this Michigan State team, not Michigan State football in general, but this Michigan State, they haven't learned how to win a Big Ten game, and I think that crept into their minds in that fourth quarter. They're like, God, let's just get out of here before we lose this thing.
Yeah, they simply haven't experienced much success. Here's a good example. Years and years ago, we were playing at Camp Randall. You might remember the game Mike Saunders was playing.
Yes, you won 13-10, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, we drove the length of the field to win the game at the end. And the drive all started. There was a TV timeout, and both teams were lined up, thinking that it was ready to start playing again. And our offensive tackle, I believe, was Rob Baxley, as I recall.
I think it was 1991. Yep.
Famously said this. He's looking at the guy across from him that he's been going against all day long, and I'll give you the version that's available to any and all fans. I don't know exactly what words Rob used, but I know it went something like this. You know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. Let's get this damn thing started. Talking about the end of this game, because we both know who's going to win. That's what Rob told him. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of confidence you want your players to have. They even maybe dare to tell the guy across from them, we're just about to kick your ass. You better be ready. And I guess I shouldn't say that on radio. But
you can say ass.
It's okay. It's okay.
And, Don, that was also year 2 under Barry. They hadn't learned how to win yet.
Yeah.
And you guys, that was a team that would go on to win 10 games.
The guy that scored the winning touchdown was Mike Saunders from Milton, Wisconsin.
We were up there for that game, boy. I remember that clear as a bell.
That was my first year at the Press Citizen. I wasn't covering Iowa football then. I was a helper, but I didn't travel on the road, so I was not at that game. But I remember watching it, and I just remember, wow, a Wisconsin guy. And then 2 years later, Wisconsin was in the Rose Bowl. But they weren't ready, though, yet.
And the beauty of last Saturday, talking about end-of-game situations, if we're in that same situation over in Lincoln, it'll be tougher to pull it off in Lincoln, of course, than it was in Kinnick. But the good news, the fans don't get to play.
That's true.
It's still only going to be those 11 versus our 11.
And I was shown before, they're not, the Lincoln stuff does nothing. I mean, they play fine in Lincoln.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, I saw that the California coach just got fired, Justin Wilcox. So I believe that's 12 Power 4 jobs open right now.
And Florida State hung on to their
Florida State hung on to Mike Norvell. James Franklin has been introduced at Virginia Tech. Still not here. I mean, Penn State, of course, go ahead.
Here's one that's notable, Pat. How about the resurgence of Badger football?
Yeah. They're 4-7 now. And that loss at Oregon was sort of an indication, hey, we're not falling apart.
Yeah, and maybe it suggests this. I don't know, because I don't know the culture up there right now. But it suggests that the players are more than happy with Finkel as their coach.
It would have to. Or, you wouldn't play like that.
Well, they're playing a lot better.
Speaking of coaches, Don, I want to send a shout-out to David Braun, Northwestern, man. They've won 6 games. He's done a hell of a job. They beat Minnesota.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think he's an underrated coach because it's not easy to win there. They don't have their stadium. Would you talk about what the job you think he's done?
Well, it is difficult to win when you have a short stick. And let's face it, in general, in terms of personnel, the other team's better.
Usually, yeah.
But that doesn't guarantee a win, of course, as you know. I love Northwestern's mentality. They're mentally tough. They don't beat themselves very often. They're kind of another version of Iowa.
In a way.
I know the complaint is we don't beat people that are better than us. But we have, historically, under Kirk and Hayden, we've beaten all kinds of teams that are superior to us athletically. And it all starts with just not beating yourself.
Sure.
And Kirk's teams have done that. We certainly did it back in the 80s and 90s also.
Mm-hmm. No, without question. But I was just so impressed watching that game, they found out. I mean, of course, Minnesota missed a last-second field goal, so these coaches' legacies hang on plays like that. I get that, but not a great season for Minnesota. Real good season, I think, for Northwestern. Now, Northwestern plays Illinois to end the season.
And Minnesota plays Wisconsin.
Illinois is not finishing strong. Brett looked a little frustrated in his post-game press conference after that. I mean, like Brett said, Wisconsin just beat them. They beat them.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the stats right here. Not the stats, but the analytics. Yeah, Wisconsin, Illinois, top 15 parameters. Wisconsin won 3, 6, 8 of them.
Okay.
Illinois won 3. So there were 4 ties in there. But it wasn't a fluke win. You know, Wisconsin deserved to win the game.
And now I know it's at Minneapolis. I get that Minnesota's not playing very well right now, and they're just not a very good team. They're just not. And so those will be two.
That's going to be a good game.
I mean, if
yeah, they're dead last, as I recall, in rush offense.
They are. They're dead last in the Big Ten in rush offense. Minnesota, think about that.
That's really unusual too for them.
That. Remember the days of Lawrence Maroney and Marion Barr? I mean, yeah, it's wild to think that.
Yeah, it really is. But I'm just excited that we are heading to Lincoln with some momentum now.
Exactly.
I realize it was an ugly win, but it was still a difficult win, and we passed the test when the game was on the line.
Yep.
We were clearly the better team.
I would say it was more of a case of avoiding disaster as much as winning a game. Because, like I said, you imagine the mood it would be right now. 3-game losing streak. I mean, probably
losing to 0-7
at
team
risk
in the
of losing and going 6-6. I know that game changed a lot of different things, bowl, everything. So now you just got to carry this momentum. And the Nebraska quarterback, to me, he's had one good game or one bad game, one good game, and he looked a little erratic in the time I was. Well, what do you think, Don?
You know, I haven't seen the Penn State game yet, but obviously that Penn State game, I'm sure our coaches are looking at it very, very thoroughly.
Yeah.
It might be a good roadmap on how to play against Nebraska. I don't know exactly how the game played out, other than Nebraska was timing the depth. The outcome was never in doubt, of course.
Yeah, and I read a stat where Emmett Johnson at one point was 19 carries for like 56 yards. That's the game right there.
Yeah, that's right. And Latif is a freshman, and he's playing like that.
And if he doesn't have a running game to support him, it's going to be hard to do play action and a lot of different stuff. So, yeah, if they can stop the run and run the ball, which I think they're going to be able to do. I have Iowa winning now. I think they're going to win. My mind has changed because Nebraska, to me, isn't playing very well. And I think Iowa's going to be able to run the ball. Are you pretty confident they're going to be able to run the ball?
Yes, I think so. You know, we didn't just I remember the numbers. I was crunching the numbers going into the game. And if you want to take our average rush per game and their average defensive yards allowed rush, if you cross-reference those numbers, we were supposed to outrush them 176 to 114, I think. That's about what we did. We outrushed them maybe 60, 70 yards, I think, as I recall. They did outgain us, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they had more total offense. But the good news is, we killed them on field position. That's when we really killed them.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, that tied into those punt returns.
Yeah, without question. Caden was incredible. I'll tell you what, I thought their quarterback was tough. He took some shots. He threw it. I mean,
he made some nice throws,
especially when you're comparing the throws he was making to the throws Gronowski was making in the first 3 quarters. I'm like, God, this Michigan State quarterback was.
I didn't realize this. Both he and Mark are both from Naperville.
Yeah, they're both from Chicago. Yep, Naperville. Yep.
Interesting.
I thought he played just fine. I do recall when Charles had some kind of injury, I guess, that's not allowing him to play. But the truth is, as you heard me say about him before, he's the kind of guy that makes big plays for both teams.
Yeah, he was not. I know he was injured, but sometimes I think these injuries sometimes come at a nice time for you to make a change because he was really struggling in the games I watched. He just can't throw into tight windows, and if he can't run, his whole offense really kind of sort of unravels. So, okay, now as
their quarterback, the one they have now, he's really commendable in terms of how he carries out the passing game. He throws a good ball. generally it's on target.
Oh, yeah, no knock on Mark, but if I had to pick one of those guys to be my passer, who are you picking? The guy from Michigan
Putting
State.
me on the spot.
Yeah, the guy from Michigan State threw, I thought, a really nice catchable ball under a lot of duress. Mark had way more time to throw than he did. The Iowa defensive line, there was a lot of pursuit.
Well, but when the game was on the line, Mark did make the plays.
Made two. Now the throw he made to
Jacob Gill.
Vanderzee, that was a great catch too. I mean, he put the ball in and that was a great catch because it was good coverage, and Vanderzee made a great catch.
And a beautiful pass to Jacob Gill and a nice
but
catch.
still, Don, what is up? I mean, we're sitting here celebrating a 147-yard passing performance. What is up? I mean, can you put a finger on why there is so much dysfunction with the passing game?
Well, it's difficult to know exactly what the problem is this time of year. I think a little bit of it, Mark cares so much. He's a great young man. I think maybe, not just Mark, but maybe the entire team, it's senior day. I couldn't help but feel we just need to relax. We're trying a little bit too hard.
Pressing a little too hard. Okay, I could see that.
Yeah. And let's not forget, if I'm not mistaken, we threw a grand total of 4 passes in the first half. Is that right?
Well, 4 in the first quarter.
For a long time, we were 0 for 4. I know that.
Yeah, they had 0 passing yards in the first quarter. I never thought I would see that.
Yeah, I think our first pass completion was with about 2 minutes left in the half.
And when he threw the ball that hit the goal, everyone in the press box laughed. Did you laugh?
I was not in a laughing mood at that time.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you why. I believe, wasn't it Reese all in the end line? I believe it was.
I don't know. All I just know is I've never seen a pass hit the upright line.
As I recall, it was Reese. Here's my only point. A good, safe place to throw the ball is on the end line, but throw it high.
Okay.
So let's not forget, if that was Reese, Reese is not too far removed from being able to catch a ball that's 10 feet off the deck.
Okay. Yeah, so he is. He is 6'3".
He threw it a little bit too high, obviously, but he might have meant for it to be 9 feet high, not 10.
Yeah, and that's when the dysfunction was at its highest. So it was like, good God. But I kept saying, guys, Michigan State's going to find a way to lose this. That's what I kept saying in the press box. And I questioned their approach more on offense in the fourth quarter. They just seemed like guys, let's just get out of here. They kind of did sometimes what people accuse Kirk of doing. Would you agree?
It looked like that a little bit. It did.
Let's just get out of here. We've got this one, but let's don't make any mistakes.
Only the difference is they didn't.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and let's give Mark so much credit, and the receivers a lot of credit. They were really those 2 fade routes. One was an inside fade for the touchdown to Gill, and then the other one was an outside fade, as I recall. Both those balls couldn't have been thrown better. Reminded me a little bit of the infamous fade route versus Oregon. TJ had good coverage. The ball was never perfectly thrown.
Yeah, you're right.
And well caught. And Mark's passes were damn near perfect on both those plays.
Those weren't easy throws or easy catches. Those were not It's not like somebody was wide open on a post pattern. Those were tough throws.
He has been missing those.
Yeah, so they got it done. Now they're 7-4, have a chance to go 8-4, still have a chance to win 9 games. Whether you think that's successful or not, that's kind of where you stand as a fan. But okay, so going into this Nebraska, if you're Nebraska, if you're Matt Rule, I mean, they're reeling a little bit right now. What do you think his strategy going to? What do you think he's going to try to do to win this game? What do you think he thinks?
Well, the first advice I'd give Matt Rule is be sure your captains shake hands at the coin toss.
Okay. I think that's one. But strategy wise, what do you think they're? Do you think they're going to come out right away and try to establish the run? Do you think that's going to be their big thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do, because I don't know if they know how to play otherwise.
Okay.
With his quarterback. Now, I haven't seen enough of him. I do recall he had good numbers his first game.
Well, his
second game.
His first game.
13 for 15 or something?
That was the second game. First game, he was 5 of 7 for 7 yards.
Yeah, and he got thrown into the wolves in that game.
Yes.
But yeah, his second game, he was good.
Yeah, that was in relief, and he didn't even know he was going to play.
Yeah.
But the next game, I think he was 13 for 15.
Yes, he was good.
Right?
Yeah,
he was.
He was good. I can't remember who it was against.
And he was good, real good.
I don't remember who the opponent was, but he was good. But against Penn State, he was not good. Okay, Don, speaking of Penn State, the players after...
Let me say this. One reason he was 13 for 15 is because they were throwing when they wanted to, not when they had to.
Exactly, and that's because they were able to run the ball. Speaking of Penn State, the players were really pushing in the postgame on the field
for their coach
Terry Smith to get the job permanently. You think that's going to happen?
No,
I don't either. I don't either. Do you think it should happen? I don't want to put you on the spot because a lot of these times it seems like a lot of these types of things happen, and when the coach does get promoted, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, let me give you another example of how things can change. It wasn't too many weeks ago that UCLA had an interim head coach,
mm-hmm.
and they came out and played well for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But what's happened lately?
No,
they reverted to their old UCLA, and obviously it would have been a huge mistake to say after 2 or 3 weeks, here's our new head coach.
The
guy that took over. I couldn't help but be a little bit amused. The infamous offensive coordinator, that's the son of
Jerry Neuheisel. Yeah.
He was the star of the show a few weeks ago, and now it looks like he doesn't know how to do anything right.
Well,
they carried him off the field.
Well, what's interesting is when they were winning those 3 games, all the camera did was just fixate on Jerry Neuheisel.
Uh-huh.
Now that they're losing, all the camera does is fixate on the Tim Skipper, the interim head coach. I don't get that. Jerry Neuheisel was all of a sudden just everybody's favorite coach, but now that they're losing, they don't even mention him anymore. Like it's like it's all Skipper's fault that they're losing. It's just a weird juxtaposition how they've done that. They propped up.
It was a good story to give Neuheisel credit, I guess, because his dad's connected with network TV.
Yeah.
But now that they're faltering, you don't hear anything about him being responsible.
No, it's all Tim Skipper's fault. I just find that a little weird. Okay, so you don't think that Terry Smith will get the job. Other than Manny, I haven't heard a lot about the Penn State search lately. I know Manny Diaz is a name that's out there. Do you have any predictions?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I've always said this about ADs. ADs make their name by who they hire, especially in the high-profile sports like football.
Sure.
Yep.
Football, basketball, women's basketball, wrestling, at least in the Midwest. Those are the 4 sports that everybody pays great attention to. But in this case, I'll put it this way. It's a little bit like icing a kicker. You're really in a pickle at the end of the game. Do you ice the kicker or not? Well, if you don't ice the kicker and he makes it, everybody's going to say, our coach is so stupid, he didn't even ice the kicker. You really can't win. If you do ice the kicker and he makes it, nobody said, well, that was a dumb thing to do. You should have just let him kick it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you risk ridicule for not trying to ice a kicker. I just think the good kickers would be more likely to miss without the timeout. I remember Rob Houghton reacting to Bo. He made a little reaction to the bench like, you think you're going to ice me? You can forget about it. This one's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure Drew felt that way, too.
Yeah, no, I had no doubt. It
was interesting, though, the first time Drew made the practice kick and missed the live attempt. And then the last time, and the game's on the line, the practice kick went left, but that next one was almost dead solid perfect.
Yeah. I thought he was going to make it, too.
Yeah,
I was
did
pretty
too.
confident he was going to make it. And I think those Michigan State players knew he was going to make it. They're just like, God, here we go again. Tough year, man. It'll be interesting. I mean, I haven't heard anything. Do you think – I assume Jonathan Smith comes back for a 3rd season, but they seem like a program that is just reeling, just heading in the wrong direction under him. What do you think?
It's a good question. My guess is, based on typical first contract, if they relieve him now, it's going to cost him a lot of money.
Exactly.
I would think.
Yeah, you're right.
They might choose, and frankly, I think that had something to do with Wisconsin keeping him single. These crazy contracts. Now, maybe you heard the rumor that there's certain people outside the program that are happy to buy off Franklin to the tune of $50 million or whatever it is.
And Florida State hanging on to Norvell. Yeah, I think there's so many openings this year that it would be.
Well, there's talk that LSU has offered Lane Kiffin as much as $90 million to go to there, and there's people. I don't know if anything's official yet, but it looks like he may be heading to LSU, which means Ole Miss will be open. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hiring coming up here in the next 1 to 3 weeks, probably. Once the regular
lot of
season
dominoes are going to fall.
A lot of dominoes are
Who
going to fall.
knows
Yeah.
where they're going to fall?
Yeah, and Gronowski, I don't know if he was talking about, I wrote something. There's a lot of talk about Kirk. Maybe this is his last year because he's extra. Kirk always gets teary-eyed. That's just how he is. But he's been extra teary-eyed. But then Gronowski basically said, well, we know he's not going to retire after the end of this year, but that doesn't mean he won't retire. But Gronowski did say that in his postgame. I go kind of back and forth. And basically what I wrote down, and I'm sure you're going to agree, Kirk right now calls the shots. He decides when he retires. They're still winning enough to where he has got the leverage. Now, that would change after 1 or 2 losing seasons, but that's a big if. This program, to me, is built strong enough now to where I think they're a ways from having losing seasons. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And what do you think as far as Kirk's future? Do I think Kirk's going to coach for another 5 years? No. But, Don, I want to ask you if you agree with this. I think in this age of the transfer portal and NIL, we've talked about this, I don't think players look beyond the next season anymore. I don't think they care that Kirk's 70 because I don't think they care if he's going to be around in 3 years because they don't know where they're going to be. Don't you agree now that everybody just kind of lives in the moment and takes everything semester to semester almost?
Yeah, the mentality now more because of all that is the future is now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't really care too much till they're 2 or 3 years out in front. It's just all about the next game and all about the next season and not beyond the next season.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't think it's as easy to use Kirk's age against him as it was to use Hayden's age against him when Hayden was aging without the NIL and the portal and what have you. So I don't worry about Kirk's age because I don't think a lot of recruits...
You're right. Portals were more developmental back then than they are now.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I don't think recruits are saying to Kirk, well, you're going to be here in 5 years? I don't think they care. I just don't. Okay, so that works to Iowa's favor. So, okay, coming back to this game against Nebraska, if it comes down to a field goal, how confident are you that? Remember, this is where Drew Stevens got benched 2 years ago. I think he's going to be spot on, though. Don't you think he's pretty locked in, Don?
I do. I know Drew. He hasn't been perfect this year. He's had some misses that are a little bit surprising. But I still think he has the potential to kick on Sunday. He'll certainly have a chance to make a team. And of course, it depends on how he kicks compared to how the other guys kick. But I do think he has the capacity to be an NFL kicker.
I do too.
He's made a lot of big kicks already in his career. We're all imperfect human beings. He's not perfect. He's missed a few kicks. But even those misses have been close.
I would rather have him try one from 50 than 38 or 35. If it comes down to a game winner on Friday, I'd rather have it be from 50 than 35. He seems better from longer distance. He really does.
I think you're right. It seems like he has no choice but to take a real whack at it. When it's 50 plus, and you got to swing hard and you got to drive it. You can't just. But it's kind of like. It's no pressure to make a 10-foot putt because they don't go in that often.
Sure.
But how about a 4-foot putt? Those are the ones that really make you nervous.
And that's what Drew said a couple of weeks ago during the season, that sometimes he worries more about kicking a 35-yarder because everybody expects him to make it, whereas a 55-yarder, not as many people.
Really.
And he's more loosey-goosey on that. And, it's a mind game. A lot of kicking is a mind game, obviously. So if I'm going to look around at the play. I know Iowa's not in the playoff anymore, but I think Notre Dame's playing as well as any team in the country right now.
Boy, they just
they scored.
Killed them.
They were ahead of Syracuse 21-0, and they hadn't ran one offensive play. Notre Dame.
Didn't they have 49 to half, maybe something?
Yeah,
like
they
that?
won 70-7. They had, I think it was 2 defensive touchdowns and a special teams touchdown before their offense had even taken the field.
Yeah. Well, shame on Syracuse.
Exactly.
My God, you got to show up on the big stage. You might lose, of course, in South Bend, but at least you're going to get decimated if you don't start with your A game.
I don't know.
Didn't Notre Dame score 56 in the first half?
It was either 49 or it was one of those two. But I've never seen a stat 21-0 without your offense running one play. And I'm not sure who Notre Dame plays in this last week, but I think it's somebody that they can beat. 10-2, they're in. They're in. And
incidentally, another game that didn't surprise me at all, might surprise some people. I fully expected that Oregon would beat Southern Cal.
So did I.
not blow them out, of course, but beat them
They're just better.
convincingly, more than one score. And what was that final? It was more than one, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. But, yeah, I thought Oregon, especially playing at home, I thought Oregon would win that game. So USC now, they have 3 losses. They're out of the playoff hunt. If Michigan loses to Ohio State on Saturday, which I think they will this year, then Michigan's going to be out. They'll have 3 losses more than likely.
Notre Dame plays Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford beat Cal, but Stanford's not very good.
They're not very good.
Notre Dame, I think, will steamroll Stanford. They'll be 10-2, and they'll be in the playoff, and deservedly so.
And deservedly
Yeah,
so.
let's talk about that game in the Big House. As you know, they won 4 in a row against Ohio State. And that's, of course, one of the biggest rivalries in all of college football. Mm-hmm. So the question is, can Ohio State, it seems like it's a middle thing with Ohio State. Mm-hmm. How can Michigan twice go to the shoe and beat them? That's what they've done, right? They've won twice in Columbus and twice in Ann Arbor in a row. And it's hard to imagine that they can do it. And one reason I think they have trouble, their defense, of course, can give them a chance to stay in the game because they have a solid defense. But again, they try to have an offense without much of a passing game. It's hard to do.
Yeah, and that true freshman, very talented, but he throws a hard ball. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know how they won in Columbus last year, Don, because that was a Michigan team that I think finished 8-5. They were not a great team last year. They still figured out a way to win. So,
yeah, it seems like it's some kind of middle block for Ohio State.
Yeah, it does, which is odd when you think about it, because they've got.
It's okay. You Buckeye players, it's okay to play well against Michigan. That's okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But they haven't done it.
And see, the thing with Ohio State is they're in the playoff whether they beat Michigan or not. Right. They're still going to get in. So it will be interesting. Right. But I want to see Ohio State play Indiana. Let's say that happens. Who you got, Don? Who do you think wins that on a neutral field?
And they play in Indy all over again, right? It's always Indy.
Yeah, it's always Indy. Who would you pick in that one right now?
You know, honest to God, when you look at comparative scores and you look at them in a bunch of games, you have to say, yes, it's absolutely possible that Indiana can beat them.
I completely agree on that.
They can. I have a hard time betting against Ohio State ever, but
you're right.
But it's going to be a good game.
If you put a gun to my head, I'd still take the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
But if you give me 3 points, I think I'd take Indiana.
I think.
And we are talking
to something.
I think Indiana's got very much a chance to beat them.
Yep.
And we are talking about Curt Cignetti. Do you think he thinks that they'd beat him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he would. Now, I wanted to find, now I can't find it, but there was a graphic on Twitter, and it had who would you pick as your national coach of the year, and the 2 candidates were Mike Elko and Ryan Day. And a bunch of comments were like, so we just take 11-0. We just take Indiana for granted now at 11-0. Is that, it was so strange. I think those guys have both done a great job, but my national coach of the year, again, is Curt Cignetti, hands down. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
what's amazing, they're not just 11-0. They're 11-0 with a lot of style points.
Exactly, and to
They've
me,
had a lot of routine wins involving good opponents.
And think about comparing Texas A&M to Indiana football 3 years ago. It would have been a laugher. I think we're at the fact that he's doing it in Indiana. To me, he's the coach of the year again.
Wouldn't you like to ask Brett right now, Brett, how good is Indiana?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Brett would sing their praises.
Oh, I'm sure he would. Yeah, no, Brett's never afraid to praise the opponent, especially after that. Yeah. So, anything else? Have we got? I can't believe the hour's almost. I'm trying to think if Iowa State did win, and that helps Iowa in a way because that loss looks not as bad. I think Iowa State's going to probably finish 8-4. Kansas is kind of reeled.
They have taken a step back.
So is Kansas State.
Has anybody heard? Are there still any rumblings about Matt Campbell's future? I mean, about going anywhere else?
I haven't heard his name mentioned with many jobs this year, and I think that's partly because they were struggling at one point. Have you heard anything, Don? Do you think? I think he's back up.
And I think Matt pretty consistently has been pretty vocal about his commitment to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean he won't leave, but I think he really, truly is very happy there and very grateful that they gave him the opportunity.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And he certainly made good on it.
And it's it's a decent job. He's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
The fan support is great. I know we here like to make fun of Ames, but you've been to Ames. It's a nice town.
It is. Actually, I was very impressed with the campus.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean.
Very much so.
Very much so, yeah. There's a lot to like about it. This one's interesting. There's a lot of rumors about Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame's coach, and deservedly so. I read a story that the Giants want to hire him, and that if Ryan Day ever left Ohio State, of course they'd go. What do you think? You think Freeman stays at Notre Dame?
I don't know anything about contracts, of course. But let's face it, Notre Dame, I mean, my gosh, when I was playing at West Point, we played Notre Dame in Yankee Stadium, and one reason they're notorious with their football, there are a lot of big names associated with Notre Dame football.
Without question.
As in Joe Theismann. Remember, Theismann rhymes with Heisman.
Yeah, but remember, it used to be Theismann, then he changed how it was pronounced to Theismann when he was at Notre Dame.
You're right. So I'm just saying that, and Notre Dame does have the luxury of being an independent. I'm sorry, they're not an independent, but effectively they are.
Yeah.
They're still in the ACC, right?
Yeah, they play 5 or 6 ACC opponents, but they're still technically an independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In football.
That's kind of what I thought, too. They're in the ACC for all basketball games, I guess. And
yeah.
That's, excuse me, that sort of thing. But my point is, they're not as independent as they once were. They used to always play, it seemed like, both Army and Navy. I know Navy's having a good season, but Army's struggling a little bit this year. And, Notre Dame can kind of pick and choose some of their games because they simply have more freedom than the average team for scheduling.
Yeah, their schedule's not near as tough as it used to be. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. Yeah, and playing Army and Navy, there's times where that's tough, but there's also times, I mean, they pounded those guys this year. So,
right.
Well, Don, hopefully in a week we are talking about a win over Nebraska, and then we can speculate about the bowl games. Wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and everybody out there listening, a happy Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe that this season is 5 days.
Unbelievable.
5 days, but yeah, let's do this again Monday, Don, and hopefully we're talking about another Hawkeye win over the Cornhuskers.
Absolutely. Let's just not lose sight of this. One of the things I'm sure that the players are aware of, and I made this comment, I think, a week ago maybe, it's interesting, the teams that have really, really good seasons, in almost every case, you can look back in time to the previous November to get an insight as to what might happen the next fall. Teams that finish strong seem to really be able to take advantage of that momentum into that winter conditioning. It should affect recruiting in a positive way and set them up for another outstanding season the next year that might be even better. So that's another incentive for us. If we can work our way into being 8-4 and then 9-4, then that'll really give us some momentum for recruiting and some momentum for next year's team. Those seniors, I'm sure, are committed to doing that, leaving this place in the best possible way. And let's face it, if you're able to say we lost 4 games by a total of 15 points, and that was the sum of our losses, that would be an awfully good season. I don't care what the record is.
Okay.
And I agree with that.
I agree with you on that. Well said, Donnie. Again, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next Monday.
You bet, guys. Take care.
Yep. Thanks, Coach. All right. We will be right back after this break.
1-800-800-ROSE.
1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country.
1-800-800-ROSE.
It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist.
1-800-800-ROSE.
Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, 13 and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
Hanging lights is a pain. Dealing with blown bulbs, dangerous installations, and the endless rat's nest of cords, there's got to be a better way, and now there is. Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuma Lights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course, lighting for the best season, football season. The Illuma Lights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuma Lights LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. No more ladders, no more hooks, no more wifey's dirty looks. That's the song you'll be singing all year long with Illuma Lights permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Find out more at BigDogTek.net or call 319-395-0800.
Hi, this is Jill Sterner with Sterner Taxidermy in Lone Tree. It's hunting season again, and I'm inviting all of you hunters to follow us on our Facebook page. You can view Dirk's award-winning artistry, his workmanship that he completes with each individual piece. We can be reached at 319-330-1774. Again, 319-330-1774.
Hi, I'm Jim Street, owner of Streets Maintenance. As a licensed, insured, and bonded master plumber, I specialize in all plumbing repairs, including but not limited to water heater and sump pumps to toilet and faucet repairs and replacements. As an Iowa City native, I know how frustrating it can be when any part of your plumbing system breaks down. That's why I only use trusted brands and quality materials. I offer same-day, next-day service coupled with a fair price. I also offer general services to mobile homes. For more information about my business, I'm online at streetsmaintenance.com and Facebook, or give me a call at 400-4483, 400-4483.
Streets Maintenance, honest plumbing at a fair price.
On an athletic team, you need team players, good athletes, superior equipment, and the best coaches available. In real estate, you need to have a good title and settlement team at your disposal. Hi, this is Steve Anderson. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, you need quality title and settlement services. Consider the team at Hawkeye Title. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential. Develop a strong work ethic and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want three things. One, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Two, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And three, you want to be treated like family. You get all three at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
When someone is kind enough to share their time with us, we better make it worth their while.
They don't want to do people call it the game, right?
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams of Dairy Brothers Ford talk about what here for you means to them.
You don't have to spend a half a day in our dealership to get that good competitive price. We just want to try to deliver that to you up front.
And that makes me feel good, makes me proud.
Because that's what people want. They want a fair, honest deal.
As far as a statement here for you, we want to not just say it, but live it.
Find out what it means to you at Dairy Ford in Iowa City.
Our Oxyoke family is ready to serve you with the same quality of food and service you've come to trust since 1940. Serving lunch, dinner, banquets with 4 portion sizes, Sundays featuring our famous brunch buffet. Visit oxyokin.com for serving hours, menus, reservations, carry-out orders, and gift cards. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon. Oxyokin, in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke Inn.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
Meteorologist Rodney Price, plenty of clouds and rain becoming likely, especially this afternoon, with highs near the 50-degree mark, a light south breeze. Rain chances continue tonight, some patchy fog and clouds at lows in the mid-40s. On Tuesday, we'll have some more rain chances developing. Areas of fog in the morning, mostly cloudy skies. Highs will top out in the mid-50s. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently 44 degrees.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Disappointed in your Pat. You come up with Neil Diamond and not AC/DC. Wow.
For Money Talks, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't like AC. I would probably listen to Neil Diamond before I'd listen to AC/DC. That's just me.
Except for Back in Black, I would probably agree with you.
And I'm not. I love the fact that it's an Iowa song, but I've never liked Back in Black. Prior to it being an Iowa fan, did you like it?
No.
No, I think it's terrible.
No, I don't like the music.
I don't like AC/DC. I like You Shook Me All Night Long. That's the one. And Big Balls, just because of the names. Don't you like the name of that song?
No.
Why not?
It's a breakdown of
you're envious.
Societal
You're
norms.
envious.
How do you like that?
A breakdown of societal norms. You do realize they do have a song called Big Balls.
Yes, yes. Yeah, they played it on the Plus.
How about Highway to Hell?
Yeah, well.
We're on it, but that doesn't mean we need to sing about it. No, we're not on a highway to hell. We're not going to hell. You think?
Well, I don't believe in hell, but if there is a hell.
We're not going.
Well, I'm not going.
Any of us
no,
in here?
because I'm chosen.
Well, it depends how the rest of the show goes.
Yeah. This show is hanging on whether we go to hell or not.
Boy, if that was the case.
Can you imagine that?
I've had a lot of shows.
How's this show been this morning prior to...
I laughed and I cried.
Really? How about Hunter?
He's cried.
No laughing?
No laughing.
Just crying? Yeah, and I will say there were a few empty seats, but not as many as I thought. I thought the fans did a good job. The weather, I don't think, could have been much better for this time of year. I mean, other than today's fog, I mean, it's 44, and we're almost into December.
No,
now, what about Thanksgiving Day? I heard it's going to start going down.
Yeah, mid-30s for the high and low 30s on Friday here and Nebraska.
But no precip.
Not that I checked yesterday.
Okay, because the problem with that is you get precip in that type of weather, we're going to have snow and ice, especially at night.
Well, we're going to have some snow.
When's the first snow coming?
Maybe tomorrow night a rain-snow mix, and then a rain-snow mix Saturday.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
I had a lot of people around me who figured Iowa was going to lose, so they took off and left, which made it real nice, because then we could see the field real well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fans who vacated.
Yep, well.
The guy next to me, I said, well, maybe somehow we're going to pull this out. Oh, you think so? I don't. And he got up and walked out.
They did.
Well, good. Have a nice trip, bud.
Yeah. And then this one guy, he was telling me, he said, okay, I sat and watched the end of that, and yay, we won by 3 points. Then I go home and listen to the women's game, and the last 8 minutes, they didn't score a goal at all.
They missed their last 11 shots.
Winning by 3 points.
Yeah, they
3
missed.
points must have been a lucky day.
They missed their last 11 shots, but they were ahead they had built a lead, so luckily
they were ahead by 13.
They hung on to win. But yeah, they missed their last 11 shots, but they still found a way to win.
But they just in the last 8 minutes, they just couldn't buy a basket, and then they got 3 free throws.
By Kylie Feuerbach.
She made 3 or 4 free throws, yeah, and they found a way to win the game.
One, and then they made 3.
It's Kylie's first miss of the year.
But they're a young team, and that happens.
Yeah. I mean, they're young in some ways, but they're not. I mean, Kylie's a 6-year graduate player. McCabe's a senior. Stokey's a senior. They're not that young, Karn. I mean, they are sort of, but they're veteran, too. They've got a nice veteran mix.
2 seniors.
Yeah, but they've got a nice mix of youth and experience. But no, they got 3 seniors that are the heart and soul of that team.
We have, yes, it's a kind of a hybrid team because we have 3 freshmen and 5 sophomores.
Yeah, and Feuerbach's not just a senior; she's a 6th-year senior. Yeah, no, they've got a nice, interesting mix. It's an intriguing team.
Yeah, the thing they're going to have to work on is their free throws because They do miss a bunch in there.
They do, and I saw Emily Rodriguez hardly played at all she played like 4 minutes.
She didn't play too
against
much.
Miami, and Deal played a little bit more than Emily, and Addie, it looks like she made a 3. But they are really shrinking their rotation.
They are.
Didn't they say that Chit Chat was there watching it, but she couldn't play?
Well, yeah, I mean, they showed her. They showed them on like a little trip to like Disney World or something. She was there. Yeah, she's just in concussion protocol, I assume.
Yeah. So in protocol, what are all the things you have to do to take care of yourself?
I don't know, but they have like 6 things, progression of 6 different things that they have to pass before they're considered medically cleared.
Okay.
And I'm not sure exactly what those are, but it is a progression.
Because I think you'd have to be careful with what you were doing. Walking around and stuff like that, too.
Yeah. No, you have to be careful. Concussions are not to be messed with.
Okay, you guys, well, have a good day. It doesn't look like it's really good out there.
No, the fog is starting to lift a bit out here, but when we drove in here today, it was very foggy.
Yeah,
it was real foggy?
Yeah, it was
very
real foggy for me, too, yeah.
I thought maybe 500
well,
feet.
There isn't any out here. It just looks a little wet out there.
Yeah, it's not a great day.
Okay, doke. Well, let's hope that we can do much better in football. I didn't think they played a really good game. I thought they
Well, they didn't.
were short on their passing. I thought they were bad on their catching, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they learned how to throw and how to catch.
They made a few plays that made the difference in the game. They
I
did.
thought the defense played pretty well.
If they'd been doing that the whole time, we'd have won by quite a bit.
Yeah,
but that's just who they are.
Yeah, that's
They're just not a great offense.
No.
Yeah, that's what happens.
All righty.
Okie doke. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the weather for Lincoln on Saturday, 36 for the high, 20 for the low, snow showers, winds at 17 miles an hour.
But the snow showers are late.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it can't
late
snow
in the
when
day.
it's 36. It'll just be rain.
It says a combination of both.
Well, how can it snow when it's...
Because it's colder in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I know, but more than likely it's not going to. I mean, if it gets up to 36...
It's not going to affect
No, it could be a lot worse than that.
Well, let's see what WeatherBug says, shall we?
I mean, it was a lot colder than 36 for the Nebraska game last year.
Oh, my God, that was brutal.
And I think that was like in the teens, low teens.
Oh, my God.
And the wind was
cold.
brutal. So, yeah, if you're over 32 on this last game, that's at least workable.
All right, let's Lincoln, Nebraska, 10-day, Friday. Mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of snow, highs in the mid-30s. At night, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of snow, slight chance of rain after midnight, lows in the upper 20s.
So it's the same.
So
Yeah.
it's a little rosier than...
Jim, can you bring me a cough?
That's a little rosier than...
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like the weather's going to be a major factor.
No. It doesn't.
If it's in the mid-30s, if it's above freezing during the game starts at 11. So by the time, noon, 1 o'clock, it should be okay.
So Hawkeye regular season will be over by 3 o'clock.
Crazy to think.
Friday.
Thank you.
Crazy to think.
Well, it frees up Saturday for lots of football.
Yeah. And then the women play Western Illinois on Wednesday, is it?
Yes.
Yes, and then of course the men play tomorrow against Mississippi. I'll have to get home and write some about that. I know Ben's having a Zoom right now, which I'm missing because of this radio station. I'm missing the Zoom.
Yeah. And the men play on Wednesday as well.
Yeah, the men play Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm sacrificing Hawk Fanatic for KCJJ. What is that? That's not fair to the Hawk Fanatic readers.
Not too bad.
What do you say? If you Zoom, you lose? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, who's zooming
in? The good song.
Yeah. Zoom equals doom.
Don't sing it, though, because they're out there.
Yeah.
Spotify's lurking, ready to pounce. Like I thought the Iowa was going to be against Michigan State. But after that first quarter, I'm like, good God, what did I just watch? They tried 4 passes. None of them were even close to being completed. And it got comical almost for a while. I know it wasn't a laughing matter for you, Tom, but it was, as that third quarter played out, I'm like, God, this is incredible. But Michigan State, what were they unable to do? They were unable to take advantage of Iowa's ineptitude on offense.
That's right.
They couldn't score because the Iowa defense was playing it did a little bending. He did have some passing success.
They had a little bit.
But remember, that Michigan State secondary, they were allowing 217 passing yards a game. So Iowa was held to almost 80 yards below what Michigan State's given up and still won.
Well, there's reason for that, of course. We don't pass well.
No, and haven't for a while.
And haven't for a long time.
You think they'll have a really good passing offense next year?
I don't know. I mean, do you think, first off, that Hecklinski is going to be our quarterback?
I don't know. I would never say anything like that right now because it's so fluid. He's the next guy, and I know people were called. I think I was told there were some people in the media even tweeting about, do you think it's time to make a quarterback change? I don't think Kirk ever considered that.
No.
He was asked about it in the postgame. I don't think Kirk ever considered taking Gronowski out. And that's no knock on the people behind him, but they've invested in Gronowski, and trust me, they've invested in Gronowski.
Yes, they have.
They've spent a lot of money on this guy, and they want to ride with him. And I'll tell you what, he earned his money on Saturday just for rescuing them from defeat with the way he played in the fourth quarter. And yes, without the defense and without Weechin, it would not have happened.
Nope.
But that's complementary football. You complement each other and you figure out a way to pull it out at the end. Because even Weechin by himself, without the offense, wouldn't have been enough to win the game. And the defense without the Gronowski doing stuff in the fourth wouldn't have been enough to win the game. You needed all of it.
Needed it all.
All of it, Captain. Just like here, you guys are a team.
Yeah, we need all.
Oh, you need like what Hunter's doing right now? You need that. What are you doing, Hunter? He's billing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that.
We desperately need that.
What do you think the people that he's billing are thinking?
They don't need it.
No, God, here comes that bill from KCJJ. Well, we'll get that after the first of the year. We'll get to that.
No. Don't do that.
No, please don't do that.
Okay, this is a fun weekend for Big Ten football because you have a lot of the traditional rivalries. So most of the games are kind of interesting. I mean, you have Iowa and Nebraska, of course, interesting to us in Nebraska, but
outside of us, though, do you think it's really interesting to a lot of people?
I don't know.
I'm guessing no, but
maybe not.
What do you think, Captain? Do you think a lot of people care about Iowa, Nebraska outside of Iowa, Nebraska?
For it because of when it's on and everything. A lot of people
I mean,
watch.
it does get that focus, the center stage, and all that.
Yeah,
and Indiana, Purdue. I imagine Indiana wins pretty easily.
80-7.
But it's one of those rivalry games.
It is.
You never
and
know.
Maybe Purdue will rise up and shock the world.
No.
Do you think will Cignetti insult them?
Yeah.
He's been a little better this year.
No, he has calmed
He's
down.
tamed down a little,
Yeah.
toned it down a little
He's
bit.
a pussy.
Then Ohio State in the Big House. That'll
be interesting. I think Ohio State's going to win this year. Sorry, Jamie.
So Indiana, Purdue, it says that's on Friday as well.
I think the Minnesota-Wisconsin game is going to be very interesting because it'll show you kind of where both programs are headed going into the offseason. I mean, Minnesota is bowl eligible. Wisconsin, the best they can be is 5-7. But if they win that game and get to 5 wins, then he's got momentum going into the offseason. He's saved his ass, I think.
It's at Minnesota.
But I still think Minnesota's going to win.
I do too.
And that I think Minnesota will be 7-5. Who do you think is going to win between Northwestern and Illinois?
Boy, Illinois is heading in the wrong direction.
And where is that game?
But they are at home. Illinois is at home.
It's in Champaign. I'm going to pick Illinois.
I will too.
And that means Brett will have an 8-4 season, which isn't bad.
Unbound. No, they were expecting more.
I mean, if
year,
Illinois, to me, if Illinois wins 8 games, their fans should be somewhat pleased with that, given their history. They don't do that very often.
No, they don't.
But this is not what Brett envisioned. I think a lot of Illinois fans thought this was going to be with Altmaier coming back. Thought they would be 10-2 and maybe trying to make the playoffs. It just didn't happen.
Penn State and Rutgers, that doesn't get the blood boiling.
No, but I think Penn State ends the season. I think that would be 6. Would that be 6 wins? Yeah. They'd be bowl eligible. You watch. Penn State's going to finish this season 7-6.
Well, if so, they better consider keeping that coach.
You think Don thinks they're going to? He didn't hesitate to answer that one. He does not. I'm with him on that one. I don't think they will. And a lot will depend on who wants the job, and I would imagine a lot of good coaches want. I mean, if you've got a very proven head coach somewhere else, no disrespect to Terry Smith, you got to. If you're going to go based on just achievements, you got to go with this proven head coach from somewhere else. I'm not sure. I mean, like if it's Manny Diaz is a very good coach, and he's done a good job at Duke. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
You know, Penn State spoiled their fan base.
They had no business losing to UCLA. That was just the wheels came off. But they do have a chance. They're 5-6. They have a chance to win. They're going to win. They're going to beat Rutgers. They're going to be 6-6, and watch them go to the Pinstripe Bowl and win and end up getting a winning season out of it, which would be incredible.
It would be incredible.
Hello.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hey, there are several million reasons that Terry Smith doesn't get that job, and it's NIL. You can't recruit with a coach like that. It doesn't matter how the existing players feel. You've got to have a big name coach to recruit at Penn State.
You mean to get the NIL?
Yeah,
well, maybe.
Yeah, but what about Cignetti?
Well, sure, but do you think taking a guy off the bench is? I mean.
Well, what did you think?
We don't know how good of a recruiter Terry Smith is.
He's a really good recruiter. That's what I'm saying, though, is what do you think of Curt Cignetti 2 years ago?
Cocky a-hole.
I didn't know anything about him 2 years ago.
No,
I didn't even know he was the head coach at James Madison. Never followed him. Didn't give him any interest. You knew who he was 2 years ago?
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like a year ago.
Okay. No, I'm thinking like before Indiana hired him.
Sure. No,
he has dispelled all these theories about what you need to be successful. I mean, he really has. Maybe he is just an aberration, and it'll go back to being normal. But what you're saying is, I mean, Curt Cignetti crushes that stereotype, because what would you have thought 2 years ago if someone said Penn State was going to hire the James Madison coach to take over at Penn State? we would have all been like, what?
Yeah, no way.
And imagine what he would be doing at Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're
He could
saying,
be
but
doing phenomenal things.
I don't
the
think
boosters wouldn't have gone for it.
I don't think Terry Smith's going to get the job, but he is a player's coach and he does excel as a recruiter. But it's different being a recruiter as the head coach as opposed to just being someone on the staff. I get it.
No,
I
true.
think they're going to hire a proven head coach.
Well, and I don't follow college football as religiously as I used to. Whatever happened with Michigan, they still got their bench coach, right?
Sharon Moore went from being the
offensive coordinator
to they promoted him.
Okay. Well, so
and to me, it's been mixed. It's been mixed results.
I mean,
it can work.
The boosters went for that.
Yeah, it's mixed results. I mean, they went 8-5 last year by Michigan standards. That's not good.
That's not good enough.
And I don't think they're going to make the playoff this year. So he'll have 2 years where he hasn't made the playoff.
There's some grumbling.
So I'm sure there'll be some grumbling up there. So
especially if they lose to Ohio State.
Yeah, if they lose to Ohio State, don't make the playoff, they'll be 9-3, and they could still win 10 games. But at Michigan 10-3 without a playoff now, after what Harbaugh's done, there's going to be frustration.
Yep.
Fair or not.
Yeah. Here was a funny observation I had on Saturday. Tickets to the Oregon game were really floating around $300 2 days before the game, 2 hours before the game. Tickets for the Iowa game this weekend were floating around $20 to $30.
Or less.
We saw we found some for $4.
Yeah, they're way less. And we had two.
Oh, goodness.
We had 2 tickets. We were in the press box this weekend at the outdoor club seats, and we couldn't give away our tickets.
Yeah. Oh, crazy times. But I don't think the boosters are going for keeping the existing coach, but Michigan makes my theory look pretty stupid.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know what the boosters are thinking there. Yeah,
we'll
knows?
see.
We'll see.
The boosters at Michigan may have made a mistake too. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan may beat Ohio State on Saturday. If they do, they're in the playoff.
And that's 5
more than
straight.
likely at 10-2. But I just think Ohio State's going to get him this year. Jeremiah Smith did not play last week. I think they're resting him. They didn't need him. I think they beat Rutgers 42-7 or something like that.
Yeah.
And Ohio State's played a really soft schedule. They have really, they've avoided a lot of. Penn State ended up. Michigan's going to end up being maybe one of their harder games because Ohio State didn't play Indiana and didn't play Oregon. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think if
They didn't play Oregon early. Oh no, that was Indiana.
Indiana played Oregon and beat them. Yeah, I think right now, to me, Indiana versus Ohio State, I'm not just saying Ohio State, no questions asked. I'd have to think about that. I think Indiana's got a chance. I think they got a chance to beat them.
Well, I think you have the 2 best quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Oh, without question. Now, that saying has really been good for us.
Been
and I know his receivers are good, but he has thrown some incredible balls, man. He is a really gifted thrower. But that's why he was a 5-star.
And Heisman Mendoza at Indiana.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah,
he is great.
I didn't know anything about him at Cal last year. I probably watched Cal play and didn't give him 2 thoughts.
No.
And then when I saw that's who Indiana got in the portal, I'm like, interesting. And turns out, he is a really, really good quarterback. And some will say, because somebody asked me, did Iowa go after Mendoza? I have no idea. Why wouldn't we go after Mendoza over Gradowski? I think at this time last year, I don't think Mendoza, in the eyes of many people, was ranked way above Gradowski, even though they played at different levels and what have you. Now, I'm sure, Tom, if I asked you who you would take as your quarterback, I think you'd probably take Mendoza, wouldn't you?
I would now.
Well, yeah, without question. He's better.
But
back then, I don't know.
In the offseason,
I didn't know enough about him.
I thought Mark Gronowski looked on paper to be an intriguing quarterback for us.
Mm-hmm.
He's a winner, a Midwest guy.
6'2", 230, threw for a lot of yards.
Can run.
Yeah, no, the passing part is the part that I wasn't prepared for. I thought they would be better.
And
it's not all on him, but a lot of it is on him, though, too.
It is.
There's been open receivers. There's been there's been missed targets.
We rewatched the first quarter and the fourth quarter last night, and there were open guys all over the field.
They were wide open in the fourth quarter. Even he couldn't miss. I don't know what Michigan State's secondary was doing in the fourth. Like that 16-yard pass to Benami. I mean, that last drive, they had 41 seconds. They had a 16-yard pass to Benami and a 29-yard pass to Vanderzee.
Yeah.
The Vanderzee one, there was coverage. The Benami one, he was wide open.
Yeah.
And Gronowski just floated it to him. He couldn't have missed him if he tried. I don't know what Michigan State, they had to have had a breakdown in coverage, but Iowa found a way to win that game, and I'm glad they did because this would have been a disaster, and the message boards and social media would just be filled with angst, and it's just nice to not have it for a week. Now, if they lose to Nebraska, it's going to be it'll all just be because they'll be 7-5, and they will have lost 3 of their last 4 games, and the misery wagon will leave the station,
and the needle will be pointing down.
Yeah, and they'll have the momentum will be crushed, and again the Ferentz haters will come out. Gronowski's a bust. All that stuff will come out if they lose to Nebraska. There's a chance they could, but I'm more confident they're going to win this game now than I was a week ago, and a lot of that is confidence in Iowa too, but not a lot of confidence. This is not a
we have to play a better game than we did.
Oh,
Saturday.
Without question. No, but Nebraska's not that good of a team.
No,
they're really not. I mean, it's they're a little better than they have been, but they're not that good.
No.
What do you think, Captain?
I agree.
You agree?
You agree?
All right. Hey, what about this caller? What do you think?
I think it's a very important.
Bring this show up or down, this call?
Needle pointing down.
Down. Hello.
I was watching the game Saturday with a guy that says we're going to the Outback Bowl.
If we win.
That's going out on a limb. Isn't it?
Well, it's the ReliaQuest Bowl, but I think if we beat Nebraska, I think we will go to Tampa.
8 and 4 Iowa teams go to Tampa.
Yeah, yes,
I mean, that's just kind of where we are.
Yes, they do.
Okay, is that on New Year's Day?
Yes,
I believe so. Yes, and Tom, you'll be there 10 days, right?
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. There you go. What do you think of that, Captain? A 2-week gut punch, right out of the year, right out of the gate.
A gut.
Yeah, we've got
I stand corrected from my friend, so thank you for the information.
Yeah. All right. We're going to be without Shooter for 2 weeks navigating through the new year.
Yeah, we've got a luxury villa on the Gulf.
For free?
Oh, my God, no. It's $5,000 a day.
Yeah. So you're going to be spending $70,000?
Yes. Yeah.
You're pulling my leg.
Yes.
I lived on the ocean for free for 9 months down there.
Yes, I am pulling your leg.
Didn't get me anywhere. Didn't get me anywhere, Captain. Didn't accomplish anything down in Florida.
Got here.
Yeah, but I did nothing good down in Florida when I was there.
We'd be down there for 3 or 4 days.
Nothing productive. I did nothing productive in the 9 months I lived in Florida. 1987.
Hello.
Will. Hey, Cap.
Hey.
Last call.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, we're doing a radio show.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the Hawks.
Okay,
That's
go ahead.
That's kind of why we're here.
What's on your mind?
Hey, what's looking back?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't recall a year quite like this.
I can.
So many ifs.
2010, 1997.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Listening.
Yeah, it reminds me of 2010.
And 1997. I'm going way back.
But anyway, God, we could have been 11-1, 10-2, but
yeah, but
it's a
we're
game
not.
of inches.
Yeah,
we're not.
If my aunt had what, she'd be my uncle, right, Captain?
What? What with
balls?
What? Balls?
Yeah, Big Balls. That song by AC/DC.
No.
Nope.
You like that song, Paul?
Yeah, I like Big Balls
by AC/DC.
Do you like Big Balls, Paul?
I like the Flying Burrito Brothers.
I do too.
Me too.
Me too, big time. I love the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Play one today.
No chance in hell that's getting on here.
Never.
Southern Cal.
And never.
Never.
Not going to happen, Paul.
The Flying Burrito Brothers have no place here.
We had things to do. And...
Yep.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I didn't know your dad was the announcer at Iowa football games when I was a little kid.
He sure was, 1955 to 1974.
Boy, he had a great run and then a terrible run. From as far as success on the about that.
Exactly.
From the pinnacle to the pits.
Both of those things, and it is amazing. Only 3 announcers from 1955 to 2025.
Yeah, and then Mark Abbott just did his last game Mark's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
I've known him.
I mean, that's just incredible.
He's one of those guys, no matter what I've written, he always still says hi to me and is nice, you know.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Seems like a good guy.
But
he can separate.
3 announcers in 70 years.
Well, you can say that about so
That's
much with
amazing.
Iowa. Think about
Kinda
how
like our coaches.
Think about how so few sports information directors they've had, coaches they've had. I mean, yeah, people come here and they don't want to leave.
Well, we had
Steve
Eric.
Rowe, I used to play baseball against him.
Yeah. So, sports information directors: Eric Wilson, George Wine,
Phil Hattie, Steve Rowe, Matt Weitzel.
Steve
Oh,
Rowe,
yeah.
Matt Weitzel.
Look at
5.
the ADs: Bump Elliott, Bob Bowlesby, Gary Barta, now Beth. That's
Yeah.
since 1970.
That's only 4.
Bump
yeah.
came here the same year Stone Ground formed, 1970.
Yeah, me and Dad used to work on Bump Elliott's house up on Blue Springs Circle when I was a pup.
What'd you do?
Roof repairs.
Oh. Wow.
Did you ever fall off the roof?
Yeah.
And hit your head?
Not yet.
All right. All right.
Dared to dream.
Hey, in closing, what does the bowl picture look like?
Well,
10 days in Tampa.
My guess is if we beat Nebraska, it's probably going to be Tampa in the ReliaQuest
And
Bowl.
if you lose, Vegas or
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Well, I ain't going to Vegas, but yeah, hopefully they get to Tampa.
Well, I hope so, so we could visit Ann's brother. That would be good, because we haven't
Yes,
seen
sir.
him for a while.
This was probably the last bowl game.
No, we did a cruise with them a couple years ago. And they got COVID real bad at the end of the
I
trip.
remember that, yeah. Didn't you come back with COVID or something?
No.
Okay.
No, we avoided the COVID.
Okay.
But they did not.
Hey, Tom, I'm so proud of your dad and Pat's dad. He sounds like my father.
Yeah? Yeah.
What do you think of my dad?
I don't know about your dad, Steve.
He was my dad.
Can you elaborate, or is that it?
That's about it.
Well,
no.
Love him.
How's that Zoom meeting coming?
Paul, it's over by now. I mean, McCollum's probably broken major news, and it's not on Hawk Fanatic. It's everywhere but Hawk Fanatic. Jan's been out there talking about the team, and I got no updates.
Nothing.
Nothing, because I'm here listening to Paul.
Nothing.
Okay. Hey, you have a good Turkey Day, and
All right.
Paul.
You too, Paul.
Or Ollie.
if people bet on riverboat gamblers like Iowa this year, they ain't going to win because it's unpredictable.
All right.
Well, you're right about that.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye.
Yep.
Caden Weegen's been named a finalist for the 25 Jet Award.
There's a shock. He's going to win it again. He's had a better year
Yeah.
this year, you could say, than last year.
Yeah,
I'm
he
actually
is.
talking to Tim this afternoon. I'm working on a story. I didn't want to put Don on the spot, but Suter, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who would you pick? Who's better, Caden or Tim?
Oh, boy. Well, you got recency bias, of course.
I will say it. I do know I'm biased, too, because I consider Tim's dad a pretty good friend of mine, and I know Tim a lot better than I know Caden. I will say in Tim's defense, Tim didn't return kicks after his freshman year at Iowa. Caden's had a lot more opportunities.
Well, that's true.
Tim did not. He only was mostly used as a punt returner, and I think part of that is Tim played wide receiver a lot more than Caden did. But they're both incredible. It'll be interesting to see what Tim says. Tim has been a major inspiration for Caden. And what I want to ask Tim, and when I asked Tim in a text message, a while back I texted him out of the blue, I'm like, Tim, why are, you could say, the three best returners in Ferentz's era goes back over a quarter century, Cooper DeJean, and then, of course, well, you could say even Tim DeWhite, Cooper DeJean, and Caden Weechen, to me, are by far the three best returners we've had in the last 40. They're all from Iowa, right around here. And I asked him, he's like, that's a great question. I don't know. Is it maybe just a coincidence, luck of the draw? I don't know, but it is pretty interesting that the two greatest return specialists in program history, I'm ready to say that between Wade, are right from here.
Okay, to answer the question, I would take Caden Weechen as my punt returner and as a offensive football player, I would take Tim Dwight.
I would take Tim Dwight as my punt returner, Weechin as my kick returner, and Tim as my receiver.
Okay.
I think Tim, because I would let Caden do the kicks. But the fact that we're even comparing Caden Weechin to Tim Dwight and not laughing about it is incredible when you think about it.
And Tim was the best high school football player I've ever seen personally.
He's Tavian Banks.
I know.
Did you ever see that game in '92?
I did not.
You were
see
not
that
there.
game.
Tavian Banks. That's a tough one. Tim is right up there. Don't get me wrong, but Tavian Banks was incredible in that game. And I've seen some really good high school football players. I remember seeing Roger Craig play against my brother, but he was only a sophomore and didn't play a ton at that time. That was back in the 1976 championship game. And but Tim and Tavian, I'll never forget that game in 1992. It was one of the greatest high school games I've ever been to.
And I'm sorry I missed that. I mean, I saw a lot of Tim because I was our announcer.
Yeah,
our
Tim,
play-by-play guy.
I mean, they were so good. Tim's senior year, he barely played in the second. He could have ran for 5,000 yards as a senior.
Every play, I swear, it just seemed like every play was a touchdown.
You went by the pseudonym John. I remember that.
Well, you had Tim's unbelievable ability, and then they had a great offensive line. So you had a freakish athlete running through massive holes, and it was complete, total dominance.
And they'd run a pitch right. He'd just
gone.
have a wall of blockers
and be faster than
gone.
And he was just gone. I mean, the state champion. I think. Well, one of them, either West or City, beat Dowling in the state championship one year, like 42-7, because those West High teams under Reese Morgan were really
very
good.
good.
Really good. What he did at West High was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Reese has just been a great coach wherever he's been. He has done so much good for Iowa. That's one of the best things Kirk ever did was get Reese Morgan. I know West High probably didn't like it, but Reese was ready to spread his wings, and Reese still helps Iowa football. He's retired, but he still does help them over there. Those guys, those players think the world of him. He's been a great coach wherever he's been. He's been such a big plus for Hawkeye football.
And he's a really good guy.
Super nice guy. Loves the Hawks, very loyal, has so much respect for Kirk, and rightfully so.
Hello.
Hey,
talk about a 180. West High, we didn't win a single game for 6 years prior to Reese Morgan.
Yeah, I was here. I moved up during the futility. Moved up here.
It was miserable. And then, of course, I think it would have been, when did he start, 93?
Somewhere about there.
That sounds
and
about
by
right.
95 with Ryan Hansen, they were really good.
Yes. Yeah, that's when they crushed City High twice in that season.
I remember they had the one game on TV, primetime, and it rained the whole way through. Just poured.
Yep, I watched that from Burge Hall with my City High neighbors.
I remember watching it from my apartment in Coralville when I lived out in Coralville. God, that was 30 years ago.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carlos Honore and Vaughn Psychosi.
Vaughn Psychosi.
I remember he was good.
Hansen.
I remember, Vaughn was good. The players called him Vaughn Kong, and I used that on the air, and I got some calls saying that's racist.
Oh.
That is, you can't say that. I said, well, that's what they call him.
That's like when I had that PETA people attacking me for doing the video of my dog with the milk bone on his back, asking him, where's your treat? I had PETA people reached out to me saying that was animal cruelty.
It's kind of mean.
No, it's not.
A little bit.
Where's your treat? And he didn't know because it was on his back.
Yeah.
He was sniffing all over the floor looking for his treat.
That's
It was on his back, and I videotaped
mean.
it. That is not mean. That's having fun with your dog. Now, he did go out and take it out on a rabbit out in the backyard about 5 minutes later.
Thanks, dude.
So you think that's mean?
That's mean.
Suitor?
Mean.
You guys don't know a good joke. It was so much fun.
Mean.
And then I'd flick it off his back, and it would land right in his feet, and then he would eat it.
Abuse.
But
yeah,
it was pretty crazy, though. He's got this wild animal that didn't know the freaking milk bone was on its back. Where's your treat? Coda, where's your treat?
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We done?
Yes.
I think we should be.
There's no Lang today. There's no Lang to rescue you.
No Lang.
Where do you go from here to what?
No Lang, no police reports. Molly Suter's
Go right.
next.
Molly's going to have to carry the load from moving forward.
Well, he carries the load.
Molly Suter is next. Thanks to Coach Don Patterson
Trying
for
to think
joining
of
us.
now soccer did lose to LSU 2-1 in the round of 16, I think it was. But a very good year for soccer. Most of the fall sports are are coming to a close.
Done, yeah.
Again, like I said, I can't believe in 5 days football, the regular season's over. There will be a bowl game, and you think Kirk comes back next year?
Yes.
You think he comes back? You think he coaches for another 3 to 5 years, or
3 to 5? Yes.
Oh,
maybe closer to 3.
Yeah, 5. I mean, I just that would. Well, at some point they're going to have to renew his contract, but all they'll have to do is add a year or two. That's not that big of a deal. I'm leaning towards coming back, but again, nothing. I would not be surprised at all if he retired after this year at all. And I think for
I guess
you,
I would be.
I think for you, it's you just don't want to think about life without Kirk Ferentz.
I don't think it's wishful thinking. I mean, it is maybe.
I mean, he's 70 and he's in his 27th year. To think that he might retire is not going out on a limb.
I don't think he wants to.
But you don't know that, though. You're just basing that on what?
On his
you don't
interviews.
Know him. Well, his interviews are the reason a lot of people think that he might retire because he's crying all the time.
Yeah.
You don't really have any, nor do I. Neither one of us have anything to base our feelings on. You have nothing to base it on.
Just
hope.
His interviews, when he says, I enjoy what I'm doing, I love what I'm doing, that's what he says.
Well, yeah, I know, Tom. I'm there every time. But a lot of times coaches say that. Yeah. Nothing would surprise me.
Well, that's true, too.
But to say that he's going to coach for another 5 years, I think that's...
He's told me if I can
I know
76 years, he can go.
I don't see him coaching another 5 years. I do not see that happening. I could see 1 to 2.
All right.
But again, if he retired after this year, I would not be surprised.
Okay.
What about me?
No, I would be surprised if you retired. But I know more about your situation. Although Kirk, money's not an option. I mean, Kirk could retire. It's not an option for him at all. But we'll see. I don't care I want him to do whatever he wants to do. He's earned the right to call his shots. But again, I wouldn't be surprised.
All righty. Molly Suter is next. Thanks to Donnie Patterson. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJJ Weather.